What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking down the future Trunks Saga stage of the VEGETA'S edition Red Zone here. So we are going to be taking this down with my new favorite team in the game. I have recently become obsessed with this team build. Basically, the idea here is you have double Glorios, and then you run the Cell and Janemba together, and then you run the Vegeta and the Super Saiyan Force together. And then that last slot unit is kind of a whatever fill-in. For this event specifically, I chose Beast Gohan. We have been using like the physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan quite a bit. But in the final phase of this event against the Merged Zamasu, we are going to be facing against some AoE attacks. So we did have to keep that in mind for this team build. Which actually, because of those AoE attacks, Glorio himself is going to be a little bit of a question mark, because all he's got to protect himself against those AoEs is a 50% chance to dodge, right? So yeah, that might be a little bit of a scary thing to face off against later. But this team does have a lot of utility to be able to fight against those things, right? Okay, let's see here. So so as far as getting our rotation set up, like I mentioned, we did want to keep Cell with Janemba. But if I rotate off the Super Saiyan 4s, a couple of things happen. One, the Super Saiyan 4s are the only unit on the team that can infinitely stack and that needs to stay on rotation so they can prioritize stacking. So if we rotate them off, we're going to lose a little bit of stacks. The other thing that happens here is if we look forward to the next rotation, we already have both Glorios on that rotation. So we already have 2 units in a row that need to be prioritized to be rotated off. So if we were to oh man, that actually does suck. Yeah, because I was gonna say we would need to rotate off the Vegeta in order to get him around onto rotation with the Super Saiyan 4s. So yeah, we kind of have to pick between the two of that. Like, we're either gonna not have the Super Saiyan 4s with the Vegeta for a long time, or we're gonna keep those Glorios on rotation too long. So yeah, I think what we're gonna go ahead and do is just suffer that rotation for a little bit. Yeah, it's probably the best idea. So for now, we'll just keep the Super Saiyan 4s on rotation here. Maybe this will be a blunder. Well, the thing is, we have Beast Gohan coming up, so he'll be able to be a suitable slot 1 until we can get the Vegeta around onto this rotation. So I don't think that's going to be too bad. And then we'll just go ahead and rotate off the Janemba for now, get him around onto the other rotation, and then go from there. I think that should be fine, for the most part. So one thing to note, I think the Tech Cell might underperform for us here. And, you know, worst case, if we ended up taking a KO or something, we might have to take Tech Cell off the team. He is a very powerful unit. But one thing that will affect him a lot here is the fact that we don't have any superclass enemies. It's just going to be a Goku Black, a Rose, and then the Merged Zamasu. So yeah, he's losing 20% damage reduction that he would normally have. So he's only going to have the 20% in base plus the 10% per Rainbow Orb obtained. So if we end up getting a bad rotation and he's not able to select any Rainbow Orbs, then that could actually work out really, really horribly for him. Especially because the final phase is Int, so he's going to have type disadvantage on top of all of that. And I guess let me double check. Yeah, there's no guard in his kit or anything, so the type disadvantage will hurt him. So yeah, the Tech Cell is the biggest question mark, aside from the obvious, like, the AoEs destroying Glorio or something in that final phase, which they do have type advantage, so that might help them a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if their base defense before attacking is going to be enough to keep up with those. Like, maybe they won't get straight up KO'd by one of those attacks, but if they take multiple of them, it's probably going to put us in a bad situation, right? So we'll see, we'll see. Our rotations, like I mentioned, aren't too amazing starting out here. Definitely could be better. But I think they're going to be serviceable enough. This is one of those teams that doesn't really depend too heavily on the rotations as far as like survival is concerned. So I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. Okay, he did just super attack, so we know he's not going to super attack again in slot 1. Obviously, that slot 1 Glorio is in a very bad spot there. Oh, and actually, that was a misplay. That was absolutely a misplay. I should have I should have put him in slot 2, because there's no links active anyway, so it wouldn't have made a difference. And the Glorios do get an additional piece to their passive when they're in slot 2 or 3, versus just being in slot 1, right? Yeah, they just get a guaranteed additional. That's what it is. So, yeah, that was actually a bad play by me, but not a big deal. I think we can still work with that. Because again, like I said, he did just super attack, so he's very, very unlikely to super attack again right now at the beginning of the turn. In fact, I don't even think his cooldown is finished yet. This guy has a cooldown of 5. I don't even think he's done 5 attacks since he last supered, so... yeah, we'll definitely be okay here. And then I guess since we are sacrificing 1 super attack that we would have gotten for sure, that just means we're doing a little bit less damage. And I think because of how bad our rotations are right now, it's definitely a good thing to take a little bit longer to get through these first phases, right? So that we can just have a little bit easier time setting up before we eventually have to take down that Zamasu. That's going to be quite a nutty enemy to face off against, right? Okay, so this Goku Black has been raising his attack by 20% with each turn passed, and he'll do that for 5 turns, up to 100% here. So we'll just have to keep that in mind, that he is going to be getting a little bit stronger each turn. But his base attack stat is only 600k. His super is 1.6 million. He does greatly raise attack on super, though, so that will affect his normals as well. So yeah, I guess if we were to dilly-dally too long in this stage, then that could actually bite us in the ass here. Which I guess it makes sense, because if you're trying to stack up your units slowly and stuff, just kind of like what I was talking about doing, to prepare for the AoE stage at the end, then you're gonna, you know, get punished by the enemies you're facing off against becoming stronger and stronger, right? And it looks like we have a similar kind of effect that's gonna happen here against the Rosé on the next phase. Oh, okay, are we dodging? We're not dodging. We still tanked it, though. Okay. Yeah, post-super, their defense is quite insane, so I guess I'm not too surprised to see that. Okay. So now, obviously, the safest defensive play would be to put Beast Gohan in slot 1. However, I do want to prioritize the Super Saiyan 4s getting stacks, so I think we're going to do this. And we do want to rotate Cell off so that he can be on rotation with the Janemba on the opposite side. So we will put him in slot 3. I think this is how we're going to do it. Yeah. And then this way we can select the most amount of same type orbs for the turn as well. There we go. And because he just super attacked at the end there, we know he's not going to super again. And they obviously can tank the normals just fine. So yeah, that's definitely the way to go. And now we get another great attack and defense raise for them, which just helps out. Oh, nice. We're even going to get 2. Awesome. Awesome. Kind of glad he survived with 1 HP there. That's really good. Okay, so moving on to the second phase, we're now against an STR enemy. So that is basically the scariest part about the battle because of our Glorios having type disadvantage here, right? Okay, so I think for this rotation, what we're going to do is rotate Glorio off in order to, you know, keep his slot 3, you know, 3-turn support going. So yeah, we'll do that. And then on the next rotation, when we have Cell around, that's when we can rotate off the Vegeta. To finally then get him around onto rotation. Hopefully by the time we get to the Int phase, he'll be our de facto slot 1 on the other side, right? But at least we have Beast Gohan to fill in for him while he is missing. Okay. How do we want to do this? What do we want to do here? Just have to keep in mind we don't have any orb changing coming up on the next rotation. So I'm just trying to prioritize like what we should savor and what we should select now. Okay, glancing at this enemy, he's going to get an attack buff after receiving 8 attacks. In base, he's got 900k attack stat and a 2.5 million super. Okay. Okay, I do kind of want to try to get the 18 key super with Grade 8 Vegeta. What's actually the hurt if we don't? Yeah, we get a great defense raise on the Ultra Super and only a normal defense raise, and then the great attack raise on 12 key. So I would like to get the 18 key. Oh, we also get 160% defense from his passive if we have 18 key or more. Yeah, so then that's definitely what we're going to want to do. Okay, hold on. There's an extra 40% damage reduction that he's also getting from being in slot 1. Maybe we need to put him in slot 1 then. Yeah, I'm actually going to reset the app and do that real quick. Okay, so just a small blunder there by me. Most likely he still would have been okay against normal attacks, but, you know, against the super attacks is the main thing that I'm looking at, right? Okay, and then this actually works out well too, because after he takes a hit, he's going to raise his key, so he'll be at 24. So then he'll have his full passive active here. So yeah, that actually works out really well. And then we don't really need to worry about the orbs that we select with Janemba. He doesn't need too much here. And then, there we go. Now we're solidly set up for the next turn. I guess if we just select these, we'll be fine. Yeah. Okay, he didn't take that normal. He did dodge it, which does suck a little bit, because he would have gotten... Oh, no, I guess he still did get the attack and defense raise with dodging that attack. Because let's see, he does... Yeah, after guard is activated, he gets... Oh, it's because he gets it for 3 turns, so maybe he already procced that on the last turn, that's why. He already had the additional stats. Okay, well, he did take the super there. You know, in hindsight, it looks like we would have been safe just having Janemba there, because obviously Janemba would have tanked that perfectly fine. Probably better than him, even. But yeah, had Vegeta... Now we know that had Vegeta had to take that super in slot 2, he probably wouldn't have survived it. Well, actually, maybe, because we would have had the extra defense raise from him supering and stuff. So, who's to say? Who's to say? Okay, so this is the point where Glorios are going to be slowing the fight down by quite a lot. Because obviously they're not going to be doing that much damage for us. And they've got type disadvantage here. So yeah, the main thing is for them not to have to take a super attack. Oh, okay, and then that was the 8th attack right there. So the guy just got 60% attack and defense added. So now his normals are going to do like 1.3, 1.4 million. And then his super attack is going to do, what, like, oh gosh, like over 3 million, like 3.5 million, something like that. So this is about to be a very, very hard-hitting boss. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think we're going to want to, at this point, put Beast in slot 1. I don't want to transform with the Super Saiyan 4s yet, if I can help it. The scary part, though, is that if there's a super attack in that slot right there in the middle, they're probably going to get KO'd. I think I'm going to risk it, though. I think we'll risk it, just because having the 1 extra turn of stacks is going to help us so much for the next fight. Yeah, let's risk it. Worst case, we just have to come back in and try again. We still have... this is only our first attempt for the day, so we still have, you know, the potential to fight this fight like 5 more times, up to 5 more times if needed. Okay, looking at the orbs and stuff, we're probably just going to grab these. Leave all of the Tech and AGL orbs for Cell on the next rotation. Okay, and the super attack comes out right away. Beast should be fine against this, no? Yeah? Well, that was the very first hit that Beast took at all throughout the fight. So he hadn't built up at all or anything yet. So I guess that makes sense that he didn't tank it perfectly fine. But this is okay. Cell alone is going to help us heal so much, because he's about to get so much defense from all of the same type orbs selected on the next turn. And then his super attack effect is also going to heal us 10%. So yeah, I think we're still fine here. Since we have the super attack out of the way, we're going to be able to tank all the normals. I guess, well, the only thing we're still potentially risking is if Glorio gets hit by the by any of the normals, then maybe he could be in a bad position. But it'll just depend how many super attacks he gets, because it isn't very hard for him to get up to really, really high defense numbers, right? And he's only going to need to be able to get to like 1.5 mil or so to double-digit tank, so yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. And then obviously the gods, or the Super Saiyan 4's defense should be plenty high enough here. Especially because they still have guard, so they're not really even dealing with type of disadvantage. But yeah, it is pretty scary how low our HP is at the moment. Supers, please. Supers, please. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, he didn't super or anything. I felt it coming. Okay, so yeah, that is like the risk of using Glorio, right? That's just an unfortunate thing that we can suffer there. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, possibly, probably, we could get some better rotations this time, maybe? Maybe? That could be possible, maybe? Let's see. Yes, so if we rotate off Janemba, then we have our rotation set. That's all we gotta do. Which we can't rotate off Janemba on the first turn because we have Glorio here. So we'll wait to rotate him on the second turn, which actually works out well anyway, because then we can use him as our slot 1 for this first turn regardless. Okay, that's a lot of rainbow orbs for them. And then, I guess I'll just grab these. Makes the board look pretty-ish. Okay, so we're starting back at the beginning here. Not a big deal, though. It looks like our rotations are going to be set up at least by the time we get to that STR phase this time. So that's going to be a really big help for us. But yeah, like, we still hadn't gotten our rotations fully set up by that point. So that was definitely a hindrance. Like, had we had the Grade 8 Vegeta there instead of Beast Gohan, then we wouldn't have taken nearly as much damage from that super attack. And we probably might have been able to survive with Glorio. That was just, like, the most unfortunate turn that we could have gotten with him, right? Because, let's see, he had the super attack, the normal super attack that he gets, plus the additional with the high chance to super as his basic effect, which failed. Then the additional with a great chance to super as the second or third attacker, which failed. And then every time he performs 3 or more super attacks, he would have gotten an additional one on top of that, which he didn't get because the other 2 failed to proc as supers. And then he didn't get the hidden potential either. So with all of that stacked on top of each other, like, we just kind of got screwed. Like 4 times in a row on that turn. So yeah, that sucks. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a better turn from him, and we're still going. Very nice, very nice. Obviously, turn 1 is a little better, because with the entrance animation, he has another additional with a great chance to super, right? Man, the day that Glorio EZAs, he's going to have like 5 guaranteed additional supers or something like that. It's going to be insane. Okay, so we need to get Texel onto the opposite rotation. But... oh, no we don't. No we don't. I'm lying. We need Texel on this rotation. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get all this for Beast. Hopefully it's the right idea putting him in slot 1 instead of Texel, but I think this will be fine either way. The beginning phase doesn't hit too hard, so even if we got supered here, well, we're gonna. Alright, I guess we get to put it to the test. Yeah, we tank that perfectly fine. No issues at all. And then now we're actually able to get some earlier stacks going for Vegeta, or for Beast Gohan as well, which is very nice. Let's see. You know, funny enough, I don't even know what the Beast Gohan kit does. It's literally never mattered. Because he's so strong that, like, you just kind of throw him in the way of attacks and then he just tanks. So I've never really had to worry about what his, like, kit actually does, right? Okay, so taking a look at it, he gets 40% damage reduction for 5 turns, and then that falls off. So that's probably a big thing to note. He has permanent guard, which is nice. He gets 80% defense and 20% damage reduction when receiving an attack. The 20% damage reduction he only gets when ki is 24, so we want to make sure for that. And then after performing 5 attacks or receiving 8 attacks, he gets 20% additional damage reduction. Okay. I guess that's good to know. So he'll be at 40% damage reduction at the very least, at any given point. And then the extra defense on top as well. Okay, perfect. And then, yeah, obviously we know that all the attacks received within the turn just give him a bunch more attack power, right? And eventual crit power and stuff, too. Okay, well, the main hope is that he, with, even after that 5-turn damage reduction falls off of his kit, that he's still going to be able to... Oh, shoot, okay. Alright, same deal as before. I want to prioritize getting the extra stack in for the Super Saiyan 4s here, so we will prioritize them in slot 1 instead of Vegeta here. And then we'll select some same type orbs, get that Dokkan gauge filling a little bit. But yeah, the main reason why we need Beast, he's just going to be a slot 3 floater for us anyway, so we don't really need to depend on him in slot 1. Wow, that actually really sucked. That really sucked. Oh my goodness. I guess I'm really glad we dodged that other one. Whoops, that could have been a big blunder. Because that was their second turn on, they didn't have their extra damage reduction or anything, right? So being pre-supered, that was definitely a really dangerous play. And now we are again dealing with the situation where we have no HP to deal with, or to work with. So that can be quite scary. So I would like to put Beast Gohan in the first slot, just so that we can select all those physical orbs and get the tech orbs kind of freed up so that we can get some healing from Tech Cell. But I'm a little worried about putting Beast Gohan in slot 1 right now, just because of how low our HP is, and if we were to get supered, that would actually be probably really bad for us. So let's see. We can get 9 orbs with 3 rainbows. That's probably the best way to go for Cell here. And then we'll grab these for Beast to get a little bit of healing in. And then, oh, all those tech orbs. Again, would be really nice to save those tech orbs for the next turn. We probably will. Let's do this. Well, we know we're going to put Grade 8 Vegeta in the first slot, so we can grab this orb for just a tiny bit of healing here. And then, yeah, once we grab all those tech orbs, the physical ones will be freed up for us as well. Okay, so, yeah, we're done for. Okay, it looks like maybe... So the initial worry that I had about Tech Cell is valid. He's not going to work in this fight, because we just got 3 rainbow orbs with him, which means he was at 50% damage reduction, which is about the highest he's going to be able to get without there being a superclass enemy. And that still wasn't enough. With a total of 9 orbs selected... Oh, he didn't have Big Bad Bosses, though, because we didn't have Janemba with him yet. So that did definitely hurt him, too. Okay, okay. Let's try one more time with this team and see if we can make it happen. Yeah, let's give it one more go here. It's just the rotations are the thing that are hurting us. Dude, yeah, we keep getting really bad rotations to start. This is horrible. These rotations are trash. This is so bad. Okay. We need to prioritize getting the rotation set immediately. Which means we would have to rotate off the gods. Or the Super Saiyan 4s. Okay, so yeah, realistically, if we want any shot of winning this, we're going to have to rotate them off, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and start with Tech Cell slot 1. We can get 4 rainbow orbs here. That's 3 rainbow orbs. I would rather have the same type orbs. I want to get that Dokkan gauge filling as much as we can. I think that's going to be really important for later. So yeah, we'll do all same type orb selection for that Dokkan gauge. And then we have Super Saiyan 3, or the Grade 8 Vegeta, who's going to be coming around onto this rotation, so we probably do have to float the LR Gods, unfortunately. Though, I guess... The other option is to just float the Janemba around onto this rotation. Because the main unit that's suffering from not having their links active is Cell, right? So as long as we get Big Bad Bosses up, then we can make the Super Saiyan 4s wait a little bit for the Vegeta to give them Saiyan Roar. Maybe? But yeah, the tough thing is that we have the 2 Glorios here, so we're going to have to first rotate this Glorio, then we'll rotate the next Glorio, and then we would rotate the Grade 8 Vegeta. Which I guess is going to give Cell 1 break turn of not having to be in slot 1, so we can put Grade 8 Vegeta in slot 1 on the next rotation while we rotate Glorio. I think that could work out. The only problem right now is we're doing, like, way too much damage. So we're going to get to that next phase pretty quickly, and our rotations are still not going to be set up. So that actually could potentially be a bit of an issue. Wow, we're just not going to stop attacking, are we? Holy moly. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're getting to that second phase quite quickly. Unfortunate as that is. Alright, you better dodge this one. You dodge the rest of them. There you go. Attaboy. Okay, so... Yeah, I guess final answer, we'll leave the rotations like this. Yeah, I think that's going to be the smart idea. Yeah, okay. Final answer. We'll do this. We'll do this. And then more same type orbs as much as we can. Okay, so we've got the big damage reduction here. Not worried about them in slot 1. And we had a really healthy turn of orb selection. So hopefully before Beast Gohan is finished off here, we should be able to... Oh, I guess probably not KO unless we're getting some crits. We did get a lot of rainbow orbs with them, but maybe just not enough, I guess. Yeah, I guess our attack stat is just still pretty low because we haven't built up much with them yet, right? So yeah, I guess it's looking likely that Beast is going to have to take some attacks here. But let's see. His super attack effect raises defense, so that'll be good for him. And he still does have the massive damage reduction because we're within the first 5 turns, right? Okay. I'm actually kind of hoping that he survives one more turn here. Yeah, so just hopefully no crit or anything from Janemba would be nice. Or at least not a crit super. Yeah, we got really lucky with those additional normals, because had those been supers, he would have finished off the phase. Okay, yeah, this is good. Ooh, actually, we have an opportunity here. So... Oh, no. I was gonna say that we well... Not really. I mean, potentially. We could do this. If we put Tech Cell up front... we could actually forfeit the Glorio rotate. That way we can get the Grade 8 Vegeta onto the other rotation a little bit quicker. I actually kind of like that idea. Yeah. Let's do that. And then we can get 9 orbs with 3 rainbow here. For Tech Cell. That should be plenty enough for him to tank, right? Surely, surely. Let's see, there's 3 attacks up front. It is very possible he gets supered, but I think even so, he would be okay. We wouldn't at least get KO'd, right? Actually, we will. Okay. Dang it, dude. It's not having that big bad bosses is really hurting him. Okay. I should have just put... Okay, I don't think Tech Cell is going to be it. I'm just having a hunch here because we haven't even gotten to the phase where he has type disadvantage yet. So I really don't think Tech Cell is going to have what it takes to tank throughout this fight. Just because of that extra damage reduction that he's missing from... you know, from not being... from not facing off against a superclass enemy. So let's go ahead and see what a potential suitable replacement is going to be for him. Because I do like the idea of this team. This team has been working pretty well. Like, it was working really, really well for the first couple of stages that we took down with it. And then now all of a sudden it's kind of fallen flat on its face, right? So not the most ideal. Okay, so we have to factor in the AoEs. The AoEs is the big thing, right? So taking Tech Cell off, obviously the most ideal situation here would be to find another extreme class unit that could provide big bad bosses for Janemba. But I think it might almost be a good idea for us to just put like one of the 10th Annie LRs or something. And go with that, right? I suppose we could go with Int Janemba. But he only has the... I mean, well, he's not going to link with Tech Janemba is the thing. They would be on rotation together and have no links active. So that would actually really hurt us. Okay. Let's go ahead and... We'll put Gogeta on the team. Or should we do Vegito? Maybe we could even go Daima Goku. That could be a good idea. I don't really like his typing. I think I'm going to go with this so that we have an AGL unit for that second phase. Yeah. Okay. I guess let's go ahead and try this and we'll see. So now we're on to a little bit of a funkier team build. Even funkier than before. So now we don't have like a perfect setup for our rotations and stuff. Because obviously we're not linking like the 2 big bad bosses units together and stuff. And we're going to have to make a couple of interesting decisions throughout the fight. As far as what to do with the Gogeta here, right? So yeah, very first thing, we'll go ahead and leave him slot 2, just because we have a de facto slot 1 and slot 3 unit on this rotation. So there's no reason why we would put him anywhere else. The LR Gods are slot 7 this time around. LR Super Saiyan 4s are slot 7. So they'll be able to come around and potentially link up with the Grade 8 Vegeta here. Which actually could work out good for us. Keeping the 2 of them together. I'm just trying to think of, like, you know, the possible turns to activate the active skills. Though, it really would be nice not to have to activate them right away against that Rose. If we were able to have, like, a safe turn where we can kind of delay the transformation for the Super Saiyan 4s and we can delay, you know, activating the Gogeta active skill and save all that for the final phase where we have to deal with the AoEs and stuff. That would definitely be a lot better. But we'll see. I don't know. We might be our hand might be forced here. I think before I let myself go through a very, very precarious turn in that second phase, I probably will take some precaution to activating active skills. Or the other option too is we don't really have to no item this. I could always just Whis up. We did bring a Whis in here on purpose, so yeah, that is a potential option that we have just to get us through to that second phase. I feel like it will feel nice though to get through that final phase without having any Whis active. So if we have to Whis to get to that point, it will be a little better than having to Whis during that point, if that makes sense. Alright. And then pretty much no question, this is the way we're going to want to run this. Okay, Orb's not looking too amazing for next turn, but I think we should be okay overall. Okay, still got to get a little bit of that stat build-up going with Janemba. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of defense with each of the attacks that we do. And then I'm assuming Janemba's damage reduction should be enough for that final phase to tank those AoEs. He's going to have 44% damage reduction as long as he's in slot 1 or 2, so. Hopefully that should be enough, even though he's not going to have Big Bad Bosses active at all, basically. Does the Grade 8 Vegeta have Big Bad Bosses, actually? No, he doesn't. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because he's got the Saiyan Roar thing going, right? That would actually be insane if he had Saiyan Roar and Big Bad Bosses. Though, actually, that would be balanced on this unit, because the Grade 8 Vegeta is, like, basically a slot 1 unit, because he gets so much extra defense and damage reduction in slot 1. You really want to keep him there. And when you're in slot 1, that means you can only be linked with one other unit, and there would be no other unit in the game that has both Big Bad Bosses and Saiyan Roar. So he would only be able to have one of them active anyway. So that would be balanced, actually. Okay, so yeah, I think this is probably going to be the best way to go at this point. Keeping the Super Saiyan 4s on rotation, keeping Saiyan Roar active, probably going to be a better idea here. And then when we come back on turn 5, we'll be able to transform with the Super Saiyan 4s. This is their first turn, right? Yeah, they haven't done any stacking yet at all. So I think I do want to put them slot 1. Man, this is really scary. Just thinking about, like, what to do here. Because I'm tempted to do this as well. To keep them on rotation, so that when they all come back on turn 5, we can do their transformations and stuff. Now, let's do this. Let's do this. We know that Vegeta is dependable in slot 1, so I think I want to rely on that. But I really do want to get some stacks in before we ultimately... Like, I'm assuming that if the rotations don't gift us with some miracle setup, that we're going to have to transform with the Super Saiyan 4s on the next rotation here. So with that being considered, I definitely want to prioritize them getting some attacks here. And because it is their first turn out, they have the 77% damage reduction. So we know they're going to be safe on this turn for sure. And it'll just be the next turn that would be like a risky situation for them, right? Of having to transform or not. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so far so good. This is very nice. Yeah, I'm glad that we didn't end up, like, wasting their very first turn here, right? Just attacking with Vegeta instead. Giving them all of the stacks that they can possibly get. And one more. Aw, just the normal. The hidden potential system failed us. That's alright, though. Still got plenty of attack power in for the turn. And then Vegeta looking very nice. Obviously, he gets the additional attack power and stuff when he's in slot 2, so That makes sense. And no stacks for Gogeta that turn, so that's one thing to note as well. Okay, now, is Janemba gonna be okay? Because, he was taking damage in that first phase. Before building up or anything, he was taking damage against a 600k type neutral attack. Well, I guess type neutral doesn't really matter because he has permanent guard, but now it's 900k. Obviously, he has some additional protection that he'll get against super attacks. Because he has a great chance to nullify Ki Blast supers, which this enemy is doing a special super. So it'll just be a high chance to evade. Is the only protection he'll have in slot 1 against that. I mean, ultimately, we know that Beast Gohan is not capable of tanking right there. I mean, he'll live, but... yeah, I guess... I'm pretty sure we can rely on Janemba here. We'll give him the full 24 key just in case. Grab all this for Beast. And then we want to set up orbs for next turn as well. So we grab these, and then we have both of the proper colors ready to go. There we go. Okay, and now we get to see. High chance to evade. Do we evade it? No, we eat it. And we take a lot. Okay, well, he lived. That's the main thing. The thing that sucks about that is that super attack... oh, no, it doesn't raise. It lowers our defense for the turn. That's why we're taking so much more damage afterward, yeah. That's unfortunate. Because we would have double-digit tanked all the normals after, had he not lowered our defense right there at the beginning. Okay, I guess it makes sense that he is launching that super attack quite often, just because it's a 40% chance to proc. It has a 7 attack cooldown, while his HP is above 50%, and then once his HP is below 50%, it has a 9 attack cooldown. Oh, and when he's below 50% HP, the chance of it proccing is 47% instead of just 40%. But yeah, that's really high either way, so we're probably going to be seeing slot 1 supers quite often here. Ooh, look at that. We do have the opportunity to use the Great Ape transformation. I don't know if I really like the idea of that, though. I feel like I would rather wait for that later in the fight. I think with those AoEs coming out, it's very, very likely that we do see ourselves at a low HP number again. So I wouldn't take this as like a 1 in a million opportunity to use it. I think we're probably going to be able to use it later. So I don't really want to use it here. What we're going to do is something cheeky. Because we have the access to the transformation, we're going to go ahead and use this transformation to see where the super attack is, and then go from there. Okay, so the super attack is in the very first slot, which means... Okay, this is huge. So we're going to go ahead and reset the app with the information in mind that we have that super attack in slot 1. Okay, so we know that super attack is in slot 1. We have a couple of options. The first thing that comes to mind here is we could use the Glorio active, because that will provide an attack disable, which means that very first attack will just be disabled, so then he won't be supering at all this turn. But that is also a really valuable ability that we might want to use a little bit later in the fight. The other option that we have here is to try and let the Great Ape Vegeta tank it. But, like, I don't know if he can. It's going to be 2.5 million attack here, super attack. And what's his defense at? Like 300k? That obviously goes up. Let's see. He'll get the extra 60% as the first attacker in the turn, plus he has 60% damage reduction. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I'm not a very good at damage calculation and things like that. He does have guard as well. And then the extra defense when attacking with 18 ki or more. Oh, but that's when attacking, so he doesn't get this extra defense until after he supers. And then after guard is activated, he gets the extra... Let's see what his defense looks like after we select key spheres here. Yeah, let's see. Still only like 300k. Oh no, Cord. Come back. We're playing Dokkan right now. It's risky. It's really risky. I don't think it's a good idea to let him try to tank that. Let's go ahead and first select orbs with the LR gods, because we know for a fact they're not going to have to take a super, so we don't have to transform with them. They have plenty enough defense to tank a normal for the turn. So for sure, we're going to do this. And then let's see what our HP goes up to. Still only 400k. 2.5 million. Do I risk it? Because here's the other thing. We're going to get some more defense. Let's see. After guard is active as the first attacker. Okay, so he's already gotten the defense from being the first attacker in the turn. Oh, wait, or does that... I don't think that procs until... That extra 60% doesn't proc until the turn starts, so he'll get a little bit from that. And then he's also going to get the 50% from the Glorio passive once we select orbs with him. So that's going to give him a little more even. Oh, dude, it's so risky. It's so scary. I don't know what to do here. It's going to feel so bad if we just take another KO. Let me just go ahead and use the active. I think this is the best play. Let's just use the active. We'll use it. Do the attack disable so we're not taking that super attack this turn. I think that's got to be the best play, right? And then orbs for next turn, we're gonna have Janemba slot 1. Okay. I guess we'll grab these. Okay, yeah, so we're just not gonna find out. Man, with the 60% damage reduction, I'm really not sure, like, the order of how those things proc. Like, if we could just subtract 60% of the 2.5 million and then apply that number to his defense, I don't know how that works. I also am not 100% sure how guard was gonna affect that or not. I'm not sure that it was worth the risk. Just considering how many times we've already lost, we only have a couple of attempts left for the day. I think that was probably smartest. And then, you know, worst case scenario, if we run into a situation later on where we're kicking ourselves because we really wanted that Glorio active skill to, you know, disable one of the AoE attacks or something in the final phase, we still have the Whis, right? And then we can always just deliberate to a no item run, or like getting rid of the idea of a no item run and just use the items there. Because that was like our other option there too, was just to pop a Whis and then we would have been fine for sure. Because he has 60% damage reduction, so even with one Whis active, he is invincible. So that is something else that we could have done. And then obviously that would have kept us safe for the next turn as well. So we'll see. I don't know if it was the right choice, but you know, because then again, there is also the option that he could have just straight up tanked it, right? Which that would have been the most viable option, is just to have him tank it and not have to waste the active skills or the items or anything like that. Okay, go Glorio, 30 million. We will definitely take that. Okay, so the fact that he had his super attack disabled this turn means it is almost guaranteed that he's going to do a slot 1 super this turn, right? That is far more than likely. Yeah, that he'll be doing a slot 1 super for us. Okay, so this is Beast Gohan's 5th turn from entry, so he still has all his damage reduction up. At this point, I mean, Janemba's defense does look pretty good. He did take a lot of damage from the super last time, but he did live it, right? With about 400k, and he's got more defense now. So I think overall we're going to be okay. But yeah, I'm just banking on the fact that like that cooldown is long since been gone. So he didn't get to launch his super last turn, so he's definitely gonna launch it in slot 1 here. Like one of those first 3 attacks, no question, is the super attack. Oh, in fact, I have the Gogeta transformation, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep on cheating. Let me just do the transformation here. We'll see where the super attack is, and then we'll reset the app again. Yep, so there it is, right in slot 1. Okay. Well, at least now we know for sure. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and reset one more time. That is one kind of cheeky strat that we have here because of keeping Gogeta on the opposite rotation as the Super Saiyan 4s, is that we can basically just transform every single turn and double check whether there's going to be a super attack or where it's going to be, right? We kind of have that freedom right now. So that is kind of neat. All right. So again, it's going to probably tank our HP, but we know he can survive the super, so I guess we might as well let Janemba get hit by it. Our other option here is to tag switch for the turn, and then we could just put him in slot 1. And then we have an 80% chance to just dodge it, right? I think I honestly like that idea better. Let's go ahead and run with that logic in mind. The only problem is, dude, if we get hit, holy moly, we're going to be in bad shape. We basically have to dodge all of those. I don't know what the right idea is. I don't know what the right answer is. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. We'll do that. Get some healing here, get some healing there, and let's see if we made the right decision. He got hit! No! Okay, please don't get hit by this. Please don't get hit. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so I guess still remains to be seen. We have one more attack to dodge here. Do we dodge it? Oh yeah, we still got to do an additional or 2 before we see. But I think overall we made the right decision because getting hit by that one normal, yes, and dodging the super meant that we took less damage overall than we would have by having to tank all of those attacks with Janemba, right? Because also getting hit by that super would have lowered our defense by a lot, and then the other attacks would have done damage to Janemba as well, right? So that is very good. That is very good. And then this is our last turn of like supreme damage reduction with Beast Gohan. He's going to lose quite a bit of it because his entrance animation will fall off after this. So that's 40% damage reduction that's going to be gone. So he's only going to have 20% from now on. And then just be depending on whatever damage or whatever defense he's got too. Okay, so I guess we just continue to play the strat out. Let's see where that super attack is. Is it going to be slot 1 again? Oh, there's no super attack. Beautiful. Okay, app reset. Okay, since we know there's no super attack, we can very safely just leave Vegeta in the first slot here. That's not going to be a problem at all. I guess we'll get the one same type orb for a little bit of healing there. Grab all these for the gods, or for the Super Saiyan 4s. And then again, because we know they don't have to tank a super, we can keep building up with them, and we don't have to transform yet. I am trying to delay that inevitable reality as much as I possibly can. Okay, and then setting up orbs for next turn. I kind of like giving myself access to all these purples on the side. Yeah, sure. Alright, so yeah, this whole turn is going to be a double-digit tank for sure. Nothing to worry about here. And I can imagine we wouldn't even get KO'd even if Glorio got hit by that one normal that's at the end. So we should be fine. Alright, so he is effectively below 50% HP now, which means he has a longer cooldown for the super attack and a higher chance to proc the super attack once the cooldown is complete. So, I would assume, because of both of those facts and the fact that there is no super attack on this turn, we're very likely to see a slot 1 super again on the next turn. So yeah, we can more than likely expect that to come in. Holy moly, the fight isn't even like halfway over. We still have such a massive HP pool to get through on this final phase. 560 million. That's quite insane. Though we do have most of our protection left, right? We did use one active skill from one of the Glorios, but we have all of our remaining protection. We still have the Giant Ape form from the Vegeta, if we're lucky enough to get below that HP threshold again for it. We still have the active skill from the gods. We still have the Gogeta himself, and then we have the Rage mode from the Janemba as well, and then also our other active from the other Glorio. So, lots of protections still. Basically, every unit still has something to provide. Oh yeah, we also have the active skill with Beast Gohan, which will give us that one turn of safety in the final phase as well. Okay, rinse and repeat. Let's go ahead and see where that super attack is at. I imagine it's... Oh! I forgot he was... Whoops. Okay, we're gonna have to do a double app reset here. Okay, I forgot he was tag switched, so we didn't even get the right transformation to give us the scouter. Whoops. Okay, let's see here. Alright, yep, super attack is very first thing, right at the start. Okay, so do we just bank on the exact same thing as before and run Gogeta up front with the dodge chance? I think that's probably the right answer. Yeah, okay. App reset and we'll be right back. Okay, so we want to keep him in dodge mode. We'll leave him up front here. And then we want to try and select same type orbs as well. Get a good bit of healing in here. This should provide a decent amount as well from Janemba. Awesome. And then we're getting decently close to that Dokkan attack as well. I guess on the off chance that he survives this turn, we'll just select that one orb. If we can help it. All right, come on. Let's see the dodge. Yes. All right, cool, cool, cool. There we go. And then our defense is actually high enough. We are just going to straight up tank everything else, so we don't have to worry about any damage. Cool. And then obviously these attacks here are going to give him some more defense raises, which are just going to help out for that final phase. As nice as it would be to get some additional attack raises, surviving is more important, right? Okay, so I'm kind of really hoping that we do KO here. It's unfortunate we didn't get any crits or anything like that. We still have quite a bit of attack power left to go. Unfortunately, we have type disadvantage, so we're going to have to depend on some crits here to be able to do much. But yeah, I would like to finish him off right here, just so that we can try and force the Dokkan attack on this next turn. Otherwise, we're going to have to be really careful with our orb selection on this next rotation, just to make sure we don't accidentally get the Dokkan attack, because I would rather not proc it early. I mean, obviously, that would be a huge waste with how low this enemy's HP is at this point. We definitely want to get it on the next rotation. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be one more turn here on this phase, unfortunately. I'm thinking we can probably hold out. As long as we select no same type orbs, I think we can avoid the Dokkan attack here. Okay, so again, we do have to double check where that super is going to be. Well, actually, we don't. We don't really. Because regardless of where the super is, the only answer is to just let Vegeta get hit, right? Like, that's... I suppose just to make sure we don't blunder in some dumb way, let's just double check where it's at. Maybe we'll get lucky enough that it's in the second slot or something. Maybe. Of course not. It's the very first attack right away. And it also sucks that it's the very first attack, because even if we tank the super itself... and then we're unable, you know, like, we lower our defense by a lot, so then we might not tank the normals that follow it. So yeah, that actually hurts a lot. Okay, well... Let's see. We're now running into that situation again, where I'm worried about putting Grade 8 Vegeta in that first slot. I don't know if he's going to have enough defense and damage reduction, like, combined to be able to tank that. I'm really, really scared about that. So I think what that means is that this is what we do for the turn. I think we do have to keep them transformed now. Because obviously without their transformation, they would just have the 2.6 million flat with no guard or anything. So I don't know that they would quite tank it. Well, it's 2.5, but again, I am not a stat junkie. I don't know how type disadvantage is going to hurt them with that. And they're also going to greatly lower our defense with it, which means all those normals we would have to tank as well. Yeah, I'm just not super confident how that would work. So I think the safest way to play it for right now is going to be to leave them transformed. Oh, no, actually, what I want to do instead is not have them transformed yet, so we can have the safe turn with them on the final phase. I'm just going to use a Whis. So let me go ahead and reset the app. Okay, yeah, I think this is going to be the smartest idea. We'll go ahead and use a Whis here. And then that way, now we're for sure safe on this rotation. And then now we just have to pray that we don't accidentally get the Dokkan attack. That would be the worst case scenario. Let's see. I think we're going to be okay. Please don't pop the Dokkan attack. Yes! Okay. So we still get to savor the Dokkan attack for one more turn here. Oh, and then it looks like the super was actually the third one. Okay. So maybe Vegeta would have actually survived that, because he did get to tank a hit to activate guard, which gave him the extra defense stats for the turn. So maybe we would have been okay there. I don't know. Tough to say, but I guess we're not going to find out today. All right, and then we get one final little stack in here before, you know, I imagine on their next turn, we're definitely going to have to transform them, right? Or that will probably just be the most, even if we don't have to, it'll probably be the best play, too. Because we are now on the final phase. Okay. So, very first thing, we have the Janemba Rage Mode. We have the Gogeta active. We've got a lot of stuff here. Okay, let's see. I think the smartest thing... So he has a cooldown of 12 on his super attack. He can AoE up to twice per turn. His AoEs as well as his normals are doing 1.6 million, and then the super attack does 4.8. Okay. So I think what I want to do here... let's see what our defense looks like. Okay. I think we're just going to go ahead and proc the Rage Mode. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So let me grab some... Oh, wait. How's this going to work with the Rage Mode? You can't get a Dokkan attack in a Rage Mode, can you? I don't think that's a thing. Getting a Dokkan attack within a Rage Mode? Probably not. Actually, I don't know how that's going to operate. I was going to say I'll grab same type orbs here to get a little bit of extra healing, then activate the Rage Mode. That way when we come out of the Rage Mode, we can select all those orbs again. Or, like, different orbs. But it's also going to pop the Dokkan attack, and I don't want to accidentally use the Dokkan attack while we're inside the Rage Mode. I think I would rather do the Dokkan attack with Gogeta. So we're probably going to end up fully transforming Gogeta to do the Dokkan attack here. But we do need to proc the Rage Mode first. That is a definite... That is a guarantee. So, yeah, I guess let's go ahead and do that now. And then, yeah, I guess the healing doesn't matter anyway. Neither does filling the Dokkan gauge, because we're going to fill up the Dokkan gauge this turn. And when we do the Gogeta active, we're going to get the full heal. So, yeah, none of that is going to matter. So, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and do this. Oh, yeah, because of the way the Dokkan gauge grays out here, we know for a fact we wouldn't have proc the Dokkan mode or anything in it. Okay. So there we go. There's the super attack launched already. So now we know we're only going to be dealing with normals for the rest of this turn. That is good. That is good. So now we're dealing with an HP pool of 560 million, by the way. So this is not going to be quick or easy by any means. We still have quite a ways to go before we are, like, home clear and safe, right? Oh, actually, you know, another thing that I didn't really consider was the fact that, we still had a Whis active. We didn't really take advantage of that, did we? We could have foregone this rage mode for a turn. Actually, that is an interesting question. I'm not sure. So if I were to reset the app, would it give me back the rage mode and allow me to do all that again? Or will it still count as, like, post rage mode? Because I kind of want to take that back at this point. Though, okay. Yeah, I'm going to make a quick decision because, okay, no matter what, on this turn, Whis active or not, whatever, we have to proc the Dokkan mode. And in order to get the most value out of that Dokkan attack, I do want to do the Vegeta, or the Gogeta transformation, which means he needs to be in slot 1. And we know for a fact, now that we just saw it, there is a slot 1 super. So what I'm going to do is I'll make a cut right here. I am going to look and see if the transformed Gogeta has a kit that would be able to survive that super in slot 1. If he does, then I might just try and reset the app and not use the rage mode yet. Go for the Dokkan attack on this turn because we know we'll be safe anyway. And then we could use the rage mode next turn to save us from a super. If it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to tank it, then we would have had to use the rage mode to stay safe for the Dokkan attack anyway, and then we won't reset the app. So I'm going to make a quick cut right here, look at the Gogeta's kit, and then I'll make my final decision about that. Okay, so I guess bad news. It does turn out that resetting the app doesn't fix that. The rage mode is gone, and the reason why that's bad news is because checking the Gogeta's kit, he has 60% damage reduction in base, so with the Whis active, he is invincible, so we actually did not need to use the rage mode this time around. And I think he probably would have been able to tank the super even without the Whis active. So with that being considered, because we already wasted the rage mode, and because we already have a Whis active, I think it's probably the best idea if we don't transform with Gogeta this turn. I know that sounds like wild, but maybe it would be wise to just wait another turn. And because we have the Whis active, we could actually just go for another turn of normal stacking with him. Since we know Janemba will be safe in slot 1, this guy should get enough defense post-super, you know, with the great raises for one turn, at least to be able to tank normals here, especially with the Whis active, right? Everybody should be safe here. There's no more AoEs or anything. So I think we'll just do this. We're just going to go ahead and give the Dokkan attack to Janemba. Because I think that the extra turn of safety is going to be more important than the additional damage from the Dokkan attack. I think. I think. So yeah, we'll go ahead and run it this way and see how we do. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe. It's possible. But I'm hoping that's the right choice. So we'll go ahead and leave it like this for now. Yeah. Oh, wait. I also could just transform into Vegito this turn and not use the active skill. Because the active skill is going to give him the... Well... Because when we do the transformation, it's only going to be there for 4 turns. But we could potentially use the active skill on the next turn, right? No. Just because we get so much extra damage reduction and stuff, and we don't need it this turn. Yeah. No. Final answer, we're just going to run it like this. Okay. So we'll get that Dokkan mode. We'll get him almost up to 24 key there. And then, I guess we can just grab that one orb with Glorio. Yeah, cool. And obviously we'll save that Glorio active skill for a future turn as well. It's kind of unlikely that it's gonna like help us out anyway. but on the off chance that there's another slot 1 super or something, then maybe it could. Okay, so yeah, obviously we did just sacrifice quite a bit of damage that we could have done, but that was our silliness from using the Janemba Rage mode. That was just a huge misplay that is making this run, at this point, suboptimal. But we also have to factor in, we do still have a lot more left in the tank, right? We haven't even transformed with the LR Super Saiyan 4s yet, and we do still have another Whis that's going to give us 2 more turns of invincibility. And as long as we know that when we have Tech Vegeta in slot 1, he's going to have 60% damage reduction, and the transformed AGL Gogeta is going to have 60% damage reduction. So with the 1 Whis active for those 2 turns, both of those units will be invincible. So that's going to be a really, really big point, right? That is going to be like a huge helping factor. Just to know, like, if we have any slot 1 supers, we got a tank or anything like that. Music paused. Okay, so this is the point where we really want to see Glorios showing out. I want to see as much damage as possible. Let's see if even their first attack is above the damage threshold. It is, so it's probably like a 5 million damage threshold. Because yeah, if I didn't mention it already, this boss does have a damage threshold. So yeah, it's looking like it's about 5 million. Okay, well, that was not the best turn from Glorio. Would have liked to see a little bit more in there for him. Unfortunate. Okay, so no AoEs this turn. No AoEs, really. Interesting. Okay, well, we definitely want to transform with them at this point, just to make sure we can maximize the amount of damage we're doing per turn. So this is not simply going to be a transformation and check. I think this will be the final transformation. I think we're just going to leave them transformed at this point. Yeah, because I don't think that... I mean, short of, like... Our other option here would be to untransform them and use the Whis, but I don't think that's going to be a good idea, because we can stay perfectly safe just like this. If we just put them slot 1, they can counter the super, and then we should be fine. And then, yeah, Vegeta should be fine to at least tank normals, like post super attack and stuff. And then obviously Glorio will be fine there in the 3rd slot. And then on the next turn, we have the Beast Gohan active that we can stay safe with. Oh, and we also have the Gogeta active we're going to be able to use. So, yeah, I think this is probably the best idea here. Let's see. Yeah. I think this is how we want to run it. We can only get 1 Rainbow Orb regardless, so I guess we'll grab these. Still a 24 key super, which is nice. And then same for him. And we can try and conserve some of these orbs for the next turn. Even though it's probably not going to matter too much, because if we do the Gogeta active and stuff, we're going to get a lot of Rainbow Orbs from his Rainbow Orb changing. So yeah, we'll just do that. Okay. See how we do. Oh, we're not going to counter it? Are you kidding me? Well, just live. Just live. Okay, at least we live. A little bit of a bummer that we didn't counter it, because had we countered that super attack, we would have... that would have provided a good bit of damage that we would have done for him for the turn, right? So that is a little bit unfortunate. Alright, well, let's hope we can get at least a decent turn of RNG with the crits and additionals here for him. Obviously, this is going to be our biggest damage dealer against this phase, with the type advantage and everything. Alright, well, that could have been a little better. I think overall his best damaging turn probably would have taken like almost 2 more health bars down than what he did. Not getting that counter really hurt, and I think there was 1 extra additional we could have gotten as well. And then obviously there were 2 of the attacks that weren't even critical hits, so... Not the best. That could have been a lot better. Alright, at least Vegeta's critical hitting, because obviously he'll do, like, nothing if he doesn't. And then with the double super, his defense is definitely going to be high enough to tank, so we'll be safe here for the remainder of the turn. All right, and then let's see what we can get from this friend Glorio. Not his better rotation, just because we didn't have him linked up with the Super Saiyan 4, so he's got no links active. That definitely hurts. All right, come on, let's get some additional supers here. There we go, there we go. Okay, so if we get the hidden potential, yes, then now we'll get another guaranteed one after this, because we did 3, right? I'm pretty sure is how that is going to work. Oh, yeah. But it was just a normal. Okay. Fresh turn here. We've got some AoEs to deal with again. As well as... so we have access to the Beast Gohan active. I think that's probably going to be the way to go. I won't lie to you, though. I'm a little scared that the super attack would still KO Beast Gohan, even within his active skill turn. So let's see. On his active skill, he's going to be getting 158% defense. Okay, so the other thing is that we have the Gogeta active that we can use here. I think it's probably time to use that. But if that is the case... Maybe we should triple up here. Maybe we should go Gogeta active. Okay, well, the very first thing is we do want to launch the Gogeta active, even if it's only temporary, just to see where the super attack is going to be at for the turn. Okay, yeah, so it's a slot 1 super. So we have the option to just leave Beast how he is. Because he'll be able to tank the normals and stuff. Or he'll be able to tank, like, the, what's it called? The AoEs and stuff. I don't think that that's going to be a problem. Obviously, Janemba will not have any issues there. And then, as far as tanking that super attack up front, I mean, we've got a lot of damage reduction. 60% to be exact. But yeah, I'm thinking it might be a smart idea for us to just straight up use a Whis on this turn as well. And then just have Whis active for this turn and next turn. And then call it good. Because I think we're going to do so much damage here between the next 2 turns that we can probably finish this thing off. Meaning we wouldn't really need the Whis active later than that. It's tough to say, though. It's tough to say. Yeah, I think that that's probably going to be the right answer. Let's go ahead and launch this guy's active skill then. Give him the most heavily damaging turn we possibly can. Get an extra bit of damage in here. Plus the support we're going to get. Yeah, we might as well pop the Whis. Our HP is so low at this point. Or his HP is so low at this point. Then that's going to be worthwhile. And then I honestly... With the Whis active, I feel like I don't want to use Beast Gohan's active skill. Yeah, I feel like I don't. So we'll definitely get that up. So now we have 100% damage reduction in that first slot. So we know the super attack's going to do nothing to us. But yeah, Beast only has 600k defense. He's going to get... Let's see. He's going to get 80% more when receiving an attack, but the very first attack is the super. Right? I'm pretty sure the first one is the super. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Oh, no. It's actually the last attack of that first slot. So Beast will already have the extra 80% damage reduction. Well, he's going to get it when he receives the attack regardless, so it doesn't really matter. But that's it. And his other damage reduction has already fallen off. If he still had that damage reduction from the beginning, he would be fine, but he only has 20%. And that's if we manage to get him to 24 key. Otherwise, he'll have no damage reduction. So, yeah, I don't like the idea of it. I think we're just going to not use the Beast Gohan active here. Yeah. And then, okay, let's see how our links look better. Because I'm imagining that the next turn is going to be the very last. So yeah, let's just keep Beast Gohan linked with him, at least. Sure, this should be fine. Okay, and then unfortunately we only get 2 Rainbow Orbs for Gogeta. He's obviously getting a massive attack buff with every Rainbow Orb that we get. But that is still going to be quite a gnarly attack for the turn. And then we'll grab these orbs, get him to 24 ki. Same for Janemba. Okay, nothing to be scared about because we've got the Whis active. We're 100% safe this turn. Definitely no worries there. And like I mentioned before, I don't even think we were going to need it. I think the Whis was just kind of an extra precaution at this point. I guess the worst possible case scenario is if we end up not KOing in the next 2 turns, and then we have no item left and no protection. We've used all of our active skills and everything. But I think that's very... I don't know. It's pretty unlikely. It's pretty unlikely. Just because we do still have the active skill from the LR Super Saiyan 4s on the next turn to use as well. But our HP is so high that we're not going to be able to use that Giant Ape transformation with Vegeta, unfortunately. Oh, okay. We got a couple of attacks here on Beast Gohan before him attacking, so that's good. And then obviously, you know, we're doing more damage this turn because of the Gogeta active, so that's helpful. A critical hit would be nice, though. Crit certainly would be helpful here. Just to make sure we're doing as much damage as possible. There we go. That's what we want to see. And then, wow, 32 million. Looking really good from Janemba as well. Same deal, though. I really want to see some critical hits in here. Just to maximize that damage. Yes, there we go. And the additional... we can do up to 1 more additional here with Janemba, possibly. Nice, another crit. Sweet, and a 3rd attack. A crit normal, we'll take it. I think the crit normal probably would have done more than the non-crit super, so I'm okay with that. Okay, so yeah, he's got 2.5 bars of HP left. We still have this massive active skill to launch right here. So let's go ahead and do this right away. Oh yeah, it's gonna be game over for sure. Okay, we'll do the Glorio active as well. Might as well, just launch it. It's gonna do next to nothing, yeah. And then we still have the Whis up. So we're just going to play this as kosher as possible, just in case. You never know what could happen. So yeah, we'll grab all these for Vegeta. He's got 100% damage reduction being in slot 1 there, so we are perfectly fine. And then we'll grab all these for Gogeta. And that should seal the deal. I think we did finally get the win here. Oh my goodness, dude. What a fight. What a fight. That was... a very gruesome hour and a half. I imagine the recording is quite a bit less. I probably cut out some stuff, especially with all of the app resets. There are definitely some cuts in here. But yeah, holy moly, that was a lot of thinking time. That took a ton of brain power with this team. That was fun though. That was fun. I don't think that we had too much of like a different option. It's not like we could have just straight up run the 10th anniversary team and called it good. Simply because of the AoEs that we would have had to deal with in that final phase, right? We definitely would have... Well, I mean, I guess with their tag reversals, we probably would have been okay because they're a little bit more defensive and stuff. But yeah, I think I had a lot of fun doing that with the Glorio team. That was quite nice. All right, so yeah, it took us a total of 4 attempts here, but we were able to get that mission taken down, which obviously all we had to do was clear it, so not too difficult to do. But all right, finally, that is going to finish it up for this one. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!